All right, good morning, guys. Since 4th of July is coming up literally in a couple of days, which is very hard to believe, I decided to do a couple of things that are very fun and festive for that. So we're doing a berry trifle today, and we're gonna be doing an Italian grinder sandwich. So first I got an angel food cake from the store. It's store-bought. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just cut them up into tiny pieces. I have 2 pints of blueberries, 2 pounds of strawberries in this bowl, okay? What I did though is I set some blueberries aside here, and I took some strawberries and I didn't slice these ones. I actually just cut the tops off and cut them in half because we're gonna wanna use that for the flag design on top of the trifle. The sliced strawberries and the blueberries, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm just gonna mix that around until some of the juices start to come out. So we're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes or so. Next, we're actually going to take vanilla Jello pudding, and you wanna get the 5.1 ounce one, the bigger family size. And then we're gonna take 3 cups of milk, and we're just gonna stir that together. All right, so to a stand mixer, or you can use just a hand mixer as well if that's all you have. But in the stand mixer, we're gonna put 2 cups of heavy cream, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and about a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're gonna let that mix here to stiff peaks, but you definitely want to start out slow. If you start out at full speed, it's going to go everywhere, and that takes about 4 to 5 minutes for that to come to stiff peaks. All right, so this is what you want it to look like. You want it to be stiff peaks because we're going to be folding that pudding mixture into this. So this is what you want it to look like. So we're going to take this pudding mixture, we're going to fold it into the whipped cream. Folding it over means taking the sides up and pulling it into the center. And look how pretty she is. To assemble our trifle, first you're going to put down a layer of your angel food cake. You can also use pound cake for this. They actually sell it in the freezer section. I think it's Sara Lee. So you could use that too if you don't want to use angel food cake. Yummy pudding and whipped cream mixture. You're gonna spread that over top of it. But you wanna make sure you get all those pretty layers on the outside here too, so you can see everything. And then we are going to take our berries and do a layer of that. And then we're just gonna continue that process. And then we're gonna put a last little bit on top here and spread that out pretty. What you do then is take the blueberries and strawberries that you set aside, and you're just going to make your flag design. So next we're going to be doing an Italian grinder sweet roll. So what I got was the King's Hawaiian sweet rolls. I don't know if you've ever had any of these sandwiches, but what you do is you cut them in half and you actually bake these. So I already cut this, I pre-cut it for us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna spread on some mayo. I'm just using Hellmann's. And what we're gonna do is we're actually just gonna pop these in the oven at 400 for about 10 minutes or so until it starts getting golden brown. Right, so for our topping here, this is not gonna get baked. This is gonna chill in the fridge while we're doing other things. So what I have here is 1 head of iceberg lettuce. You can buy the bags of it already shredded to make your life easier. I did half of a red onion, about a half a jar of hamburger dill pickles, and then about half of a jar of banana peppers. And you're just gonna chop all of this together until it gets into tiny, tiny pieces. So we're gonna take this and put it into a bowl because what we're gonna do is actually put a dressing on this. So what I do like to use at home, it's called submarine dressing, but I unfortunately couldn't find it at the store when I was there looking for it. You can also use, honestly, the zesty Italian dressing. So I just kind of go over it once over, and then I take about 2 tablespoons of mayo and put it in there with that. And then we're going to just mix all of this together. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of seasoning to mine. I ran out of Italian seasoning, so I'm using some basil and parsley. I'm out of oregano too, but still good. For the meat part, what I got was I got some honey ham here. I'm using this type of salami, and this pepperoni. And I just did one side of each of these packets here. And you're gonna put everything on a board, and you're gonna do the same thing just like you did the vegetables. You're gonna chop everything together to get them into small pieces. All right, so we want it to look like this, so it's all finely chopped. And what we're gonna actually do with this is we're gonna heat it up in a skillet, so it gets all nice and warm and crispy. Pan heating up here, I'm just gonna toss this in. And what we're just trying to do is heat it up, so when we put it over the cheese and put it back in the oven, it all gets super melty and works nice together. Okay, so what we have here, we have provolone cheese. So we're just gonna layer this on here. I like to do like 3 to 4 slices per side. We're going to put this right on top. And then we're gonna take the top part of our buns that we cut off and put that right over top. Okay, so next I melted 4 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna put in some seasonings with this. We're gonna do, I like Worcestershire. We're gonna put in a little bit of Worcestershire. And then about 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And about 2 teaspoons of basil. We're just gonna mix this up, and we're gonna spread it evenly over the rolls here. And then we're gonna take this and we are going to bake this for about 10 minutes or so. So when you take them out, they're gonna be nice and golden brown. My oven here is a little, it cooks a little bit faster than my oven at home, but you want it to be all nice and melty. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take this top off, flip it over. The salad mixture that we made, we're actually just gonna put right on top of it. And then we're gonna flip this. They might come apart, that's okay. Just kind of put them back where it should be. Just gonna cut them where it's already scored. What they look like inside. These cute little toothpicks at the grocery store, just make them festive. It also helps to keep them together because these are messy but amazing sandwiches.